Apparently, women lie about what they want, and men are confused about it. Loads of women are now choosing to be single, and there's also a male loneliness epidemic, and for some reason that is women's fault. I've wanted to do a video like this for a while, but we finally have a little bit of a crossover with the fitness industry and some of them, so I'm going to do it. I've got a bunch of videos on this topic, and I'm going to go through them, react to them, discuss them with you. So grab yourself a tea. I've got peppermint. Peppermint is my favourite tea, and let's get into it. So this guy's talking about the pictures of Ollie Murs, and it's like a before and after fitness transformation.
Quick context before I go on a little rant. This guy posted a picture of his before and after on Twitter. This other guy then made a poll asking which of these pictures do you prefer based on if you're a man or a woman. Here were the results. Nothing that shocking so far. This video is not about which body is better and why, and I don't want people to debate that in the comments. The point of this video is this third guy who posted a screenshot of these two things with the question, why are women lying about this? And the reason I want to talk about this is because every single time I make a video responding to some misogynistic dating coach and it goes viral, I'll get hundreds, if not thousands of the guys in my comment section responding with this same mentality, right? Defending the guy that I'm picking apart, saying that women say they want one thing, but these coaches, they know what women really want, right? You don't ask the fish how to catch fish. You ask the fisherman. First off, if you think that's a good analogy, if reducing women and their agency down to a fish being caught sounds like this philosophical truth to you, you have bigger problems than any dating coach is going to help you with. But let's say that's the analogy what you want to go with. If all the guys listening to that fisherman are emaciated and starving and fishless, maybe you need to find a new teacher. Just in case the symbolism went over your head right there. If you are someone who genuinely wants to be in a relationship and the guy you're seeking advice from is wildly popular among the incel community, the involuntarily celibate community, maybe that's not the person you should be seeking advice from. If you are alone and unhappy and angry and a woman says, this is what I want, and your response is you're a liar because the guy on the podcast told me that you're a liar and that all women are the same and they want the same thing, put the puzzle pieces together. Reflect on that.
Yeah. What's the thing that people say on podcasts? 6 foot, 6 figures, and a six pack. And honestly, that's so far from the truth. Most women that I know are attracted to loads of different things that sit outside of that. Yeah, some people like tall people. Yeah, some people like rich guys, I guess. Some people like people with six packs. Yeah, some people are into that. But what translates more than anything else is presence and connection. And I have scrolled through so many videos, and I think I've probably included them, of these guys that have slightly higher body fat, and they've also, like, the before and after, sometimes they present before and after, and they shouldn't be commenting this, let me get this straight, but all of the comments are filled with women saying, oh, I preferred the before. And that's exactly what they were saying here with Ollie Murs, is they preferred the before picture when the guy had a little bit more body fat and was a little bit chunkier. And it does seem to be a really common trend within women. And it is so funny that the automatic assumption is that women must be lying about this. They can't possibly like somebody that doesn't have a six pack over somebody that does have a six pack. I don't find six packs attractive. They don't impress me. There is nothing about them that impresses me. I like muscles, but I'm not particularly attracted to muscles. I'm attracted to a person more than anything else, more than their height or their job or anything. And most women I know would agree with me on that. And the women that do want a specific body type or a specific height or a specific look are generally pretty shallow. And it's on you if you want to date women like that, but I personally choose not to date men that are shallow in that way, that only want a specific look. If you choose to be in relationships with people that only go for physical attributes or financial success, then what happens when that goes away? What happens when they get older, when their body changes or when they lose their job? That's completely up to you, but that's my take on it. I just find it so funny that there are men out there that think they are the authority on what women like and what they want, and just never actually listen to the actual women. So this one is from Dr. Joey Munzo.
So the other day I posted this video on my stories of me doing some heavy ass stiff leg deadlifts with 415 pounds because I felt absolutely great about it. And then I got this message. So what? You look like crap. And this wasn't the only one, by the way. I always get these kind of messages. But it actually made me think and reflect because I've been training hard now for over 15 years. I lift consistently, I eat healthy, I sleep well, I take care of myself, and no, I'm not shredded year round. Why? Because that's just not my goal. When most people think about somebody who's in shape, they're typically thinking about somebody who's ripped and has visible abs. But that's not what being healthy or strong looks like. That's just what being lean looks like. And trust me, if I just lost 20 pounds, I would be ripped too. But I have no desire to do that because it's miserable and it doesn't fit my lifestyle. And additionally, half of the stuff that you see online when it comes to fitness is complete bullshit and just skews your perception of reality. It's just social media influencers posting pictures with perfect lighting, perfect angles, they use filters, and a lot of them even Photoshop their pictures without being honest about it. That's not me. I have 2 little kids, I have a family, I run a full-time business, and I have a life that I actually enjoy. I like having a slice of pizza with my wife whenever I want, or some ice cream with my kids. And I'm still strong, healthy, and consistent. I train so I can live a long life, be a good dad, and show up for the people that I love in my life, not to be a fitness model.
Yeah, exactly. And having a six-pack is not necessarily fit and healthy. Yes, you can have a six-pack and be fit and healthy before you jump into my comments, but that isn't the epitome of fitness and health. Being skinny or being lean is not the epitome of fitness and health. And it's also not necessarily what people go for, as we have just said. And the thing is about comments like that is they always come, in my experience, from men, especially to other men. Like, yeah, but you look like shit. They are shaming them for how they look, even though I'm pretty sure that guy is not trying to impress random men on the internet. And have you ever gone into like a bodybuilder's comment section, or like someone that's super shredded, like a fitness model? Go into their comment section, especially the men, and just see how all of the positive comments are from other men. They're not attracting women, they're attracting men. So when a random guy goes into his comment section and says that he looks like crap, it's not a reflection on how he actually looks. And also, he seems to have a great life with his kids and his whole family. And isn't that really the goal? What we're seeing here is the male gaze. And yeah, if you want to impress other men on the internet, then maybe get a six-pack. But if your goal is to have a life that you enjoy and just be fit and healthy, it doesn't matter what your body looks like, and you can find somebody out there that likes you for you. That was a bit of a rant. Next, we've got Ella Logren. I think that's how you say it.
The girlies just don't want your weird male power fantasy characters, I'm sorry. We don't want aggressively buffed Batman. It's weird. It's weird. We don't want Conan either. You can keep him. And I don't care. I'll say it. We don't want Snake either. We want middle-aged vampiric disaster bisexuals. Just give us more of this. Look, I won't deny that silver hair might be a thing here, but we'd also be very happy with the servant who only cares about us and maybe 3 other women, but then despises everyone else on the planet. We also can't go past a twink in a dainty headband. Why aren't there more dainty headbands? Is it too much to ask for a beautiful man to wear a dainty headband? So I guess my advice is, if you want bitches, you should dye your hair silver and wear a dainty headband. You're welcome.
So the male power fantasy, we see this a lot in superheroes, and it's basically the male gaze. And this is because like Hollywood, the patriarchy exists, like all of that, it's been very male dominated, let's be honest. So they put in what they think looks good. And this even goes down to stuff like Magic Mike. Like, producers have definitely decided this is what we think that women want, therefore, I mean, there are so many people that go absolutely crazy over like Mr. Darcy's hand flex way more than Magic Mike. They're not meeting their target audience very well. And yeah, she's totally right. And like, women like lots of different things. It's a whole spectrum, and there are probably things about those characters that people specifically like. So the disaster vampire is a star-in from Baldur's Gate, and I know there is a deep cultish obsession from many women about this man, and even the actor that plays him. And he's not like hyper-muscular, hyper-masculine, and he's bisexual. He's quite theatrical. Like, there are loads of things that kind of go against the male power fantasy idea of what society seems to think that women like, and it's very telling. And I know there was another character in Baldur's Gate that everybody went absolutely feral for, and he wasn't even human. Like, and I'm not particularly into the dainty hairband, but like silver hair, I know there are plenty of women that like silver hair, but it's not about that. It's not about the physical attractiveness qualities. It's about way more than that with most women that I've ever known. And sure, maybe the male power fantasy characters are not created for women, and that's not what they exist for. And let's be honest, maybe stuff like Batman, maybe it is trying to attract a male audience, and that is the job that it's doing, so congratulations. But honestly, I feel like A lot of women don't say it out loud, and it was refreshing to hear it out loud. And her point about, is it the servant that despises everybody else but her? Like, that's definitely a theme that comes up in our books a lot. Yes, I'm a book talk girly. So this guy's called Big Winter. It says, I feel sorry for women nowadays. Most women aren't loved passionately or treated right. They're expected to do everything and yet receive very little in return. Now understand why so many are single by choice and difficult to approach. That makes total sense. This guy's account's great, by the way. He actually seems to see the issue. So many women are left to solo parent, left with all the family's responsibilities, and then have the whole of the household on their own head to manage, let alone buy them flowers or say nice things to them or whatever that particular woman wants out of a relationship. I think I heard a statistic the other day that like 43% of women, I can't remember what age range, I think it was up to 40, are now single by choice, which is quite a shocking number. It's a huge number. And it's funny because he gets comments from the men saying that he's just pandering to women, and like, he's just saying what women actually want. Yeah, if that gets the clicks, like, go him, because at least someone said it out loud. And when it comes from a man, I think it actually lands sometimes. Next, we've got McKenna's Adventures. Oh, this was a whole trend. I asked if he wanted to hike and he said, we'll see. I don't know what he'll see, but I'm on a mountain. And I'm honestly loving this trend, because honestly, how many times have some of us expressed something that we would like to do, and our partner at the time, or the person that you're dating or whatever, have said, oh yeah, we'll see. And I love that so many women are just taking action and just going on their own anyway. I saw one of them, it was a woman that had ended up in Bali because she decided she was just going to go on her own. And I don't really know what that is. I haven't unpacked that fully, why we often get the whole we'll see and no action. But I love that women are taking the power back and going out and doing the things they want to do. So this is Morgan Fitness, and it says, women are so dramatic, men lifting. This is so accurate. You know when people say that they've made it so anger isn't seen as an emotion? That's sort of what this is. And also, like, I don't know, hyping each other up. Like, it is super dramatic. It's very dramatic. And I love that for them. Like, it's great. That's such a good vibe. Like, do you want to be in a CrossFit gym during a lift off? Because that's what it's like. That's what happens, and everybody is involved. But it is dramatic. And you can't go around saying that women are really over dramatic when this is literally men in so many spaces. I saw a video the other day, this is going to make some people really angry, but a guy was saying that people are into football chants because they can take part in musical theatre, and that really pissed them off. Men really do get quite insecure when you compare something that they do to being dramatic or theatre or anything like that, being theatrical. They don't like it at all, and I do use that against them when they are mean in my comments. There is absolutely nothing wrong with being dramatic, whether you are a man or a woman, by the way. Oh, I think I commented on this one. This is by Rory Strong Dad. The average dad gains £5 every year, can't run for 20 minutes, can't squat their own body weight, can't deadlift their own body weight, hits snooze 3 times before getting up, stares at the screen for 6+ hours, eats more sugar than protein, medicates poor lifestyle choices. Oh, anti-medication. Watches their bodies decay every year, apparently. And then in his comment section, he's been saying, no dad should be settling for average, no wife wants an average husband, apparently, because we should trust the men on that. No child wants an average father. And the thing is, it's so easy to be great nowadays because everyone else is weak. If you have mental toughness, if you have a fraction of discipline, if you have the ability or do not want to do it but still do it, then that's all it takes. That's the difference. Oh fucking hell, Jesus Christ. Yeah, and there's like a really long comment. I commented on this. So basically what I said is I couldn't care less whether my partner could do all of these things. And I am certain, in fact, that my daughter couldn't care less whether her dad could do any of these things. Because it's more about being present as a parent, and he makes it sound so easy, like you just need self-discipline. No, some people work a lot. Some people work for so many hours a week and are super duper stressed and really find it difficult to have space and time to go to the gym, especially if they want to be a good dad. No kid is going to even know where you are while you're off running marathons or triathlons or doing whatever you're doing to stay in shape and have a body weight deadlift or whatever it was. The kid is just going to know that you're not present. And at the end of the day, this guy is just saying this because he wants to feel some sort of superiority over the average dads, which is sad, really. It just shows deep-rooted insecurities. And yeah, he's probably an influencer that has an online program or something, and it means that he's got loads of freedom to go off and do all of these things. And he's probably so out of touch with real life and people that actually have jobs that he doesn't understand that people have commutes, like, that take over an hour in some countries, and they have to go to work and they have to parent and they have to do so many other responsibilities that it makes all of these other things really difficult. So can we just end this narrative of like, be better than the average dad, or that you have to meet this long list of demands of what you should be able to do with your body? Because really, like, if you can make time to pursue fitness and health in a way that fits in with your life, you're winning. And especially if you can be present with the people that you care about, that's great. Do that. They're going to care more about that than they are what your fucking mile time is. This is from Unhinged Book Talk.
Girls these days are so shallow. They only care about what a guy looks like and if he's 6'2". There are girls on this app who lose their minds over videos of guys wearing motorcycle helmets. And they're also reading Monster Smut. I don't think your face is the problem.
Yeah. It's not the face. I can attest that they are going crazy over the motorcycle helmets. I've not read that book, and I have not got into the monster smut thing either, but it's definitely not your appearance. You can scream and cry male loneliness epidemic all you want, but it's literally nothing to do with your face or your height. She says 6'2". Like, I have dated men of many heights, all the way up to about 6'7". And the thing is, yes, many people that write books do write about tall men because it's a really easy way to show power in a situation by making the man far taller than the woman. But honestly, it's lazy because there are loads of other ways to do that. There are loads of other men out there that exist that aren't over 6'2", that are just as powerful, just as confident. At the end of the day, though, the incels aren't reading the books that are written by women for women, are they? So and they're believing the men on podcasts on what women like. So of course there's a male loneliness epidemic. Of course there are loads of incels, because they're creating the problem. The people on these podcasts, if they keep perpetuating this narrative of 6 foot with a six-pack and a six-figure income, of course there are going to be more incels. Because if they did what they actually needed to do and like figure out, maybe like ask a woman what women liked, then maybe they wouldn't have a male loneliness epidemic problem. Maybe if they were just like nice to the women in their life and just treated them well, there wouldn't be an issue. Next we've got Professor Neil.
Could a female UFC fighter beat up an average male? This question went viral on Threads last week, where dozens, probably actually hundreds of men replied, no, a female UFC fighter absolutely could not beat up an average man, and in fact, they were very confident that they could beat her up. I think it bears mentioning here that every trained martial artist, professional fighter who I saw weigh in was of the opinion that not only would this female UFC fighter win, but she would likely only need one well-placed strike to just knock those guys right on their asses. Here's my question. Why are we just speculating? This isn't like man versus bear or 100 men versus one gorilla. This is something that we can actually test in real life. And look, I am not a violent man. But I do think it would be worthwhile if we took every man who responded to say that no, a female UFC fighter would not win a fight against an average man, put their names into like a bucket and drew one out at random. And the winner of that draw would get the chance to face off with a female UFC fighter and learn just how wrong he is.
So on board with that idea. And I have actually fought a man. I fought a man on SAS who does wins. He was an SAS operative, but he did get in a few good punches and he did walk away with a black eye. And I am not trained in any way, shape or form. I am just strong. I just can't believe the audacity of some of these men saying that they'll beat a female UFC fighter. Like the confidence of some of these, like some of them are men that have desk jobs and barely even move, still think because they are male, they are inherently more powerful than a woman that knows exactly what she's doing in her sport. And it's good to hear that the actual UFC fighters were setting this narrative right and saying obviously she would beat them, but it's the thought in the first place. But yeah, I would totally watch that show. Can we set that up, please? I think that would be great. Oh, I think this one was about the comments. So it says, this is me at home, very relaxed, eaten, not trained, bad angle, not great. Me at the gym, better angle, pumped, posed. This is the same person just hours later. still a purple belt in jiu-jitsu, still strong as fuck. So he's doing a before and after and like saying that he looks better in the second one. But then if you scroll into the comment section, there's loads of people that are like, I'll take both, I found my husband. Like, there are loads of women here that love what he looks like in both images. It's interesting how many are going mad over the glasses in the second shot. I don't see the difference in both. Very attractive. Yes, more of this from everyone. And like, he doesn't look like one of those, you know, the shredded fitness models or the like male power fantasy. And there was loads of women in this comment section saying how amazing he looks in both. And this is just proof, like, but obviously women are lying. That's not what they want. They want a six pack. And the thing is, the average guy probably looks like that last guy. Like, it's such a normal body type. But unfortunately, we don't see it very often because I think a lot of them are scared to show what their body looks like. And especially when there's so many of these fitness models that just look shredded and massive all the time. But again, go into their comment section and see who they're attracting, because it's the men, and that's fine if that's who they want to attract. Next we've got Will Horton, and it says the male loneliness epidemic is self-inflicted.
Read a fiction book. That's all there is to it. Read a fiction book. Think about what it's like to put yourself in another person's shoes. Don't read 48 Laws of Power. Don't read 12 Rules for Life. Don't read Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins, and read a fiction book. That's the reason why you guys are so lonely. I'm so tired of hearing all these guys talk about how they're so lonely and how they're just so desperate for connection. And they just instead think about, oh, I need to optimize myself to be the best, most powerful man I can be. I gotta be this alpha male. I gotta be at the top of the status hierarchy. Nobody wants to talk to you because you are so concerned with yourself. You have no empathy. You do not want to think about what it's like to be somebody else. That's why you have such a hard time establishing meaningful relationships. I could be talking to myself when I say this, because I read a lot of this self-development type stuff, but foregoing basic pro-social cues in pursuit of being high status is what's causing this.
Yeah, I mean, read one of ours. We can go one better. Read a fiction book written by a woman for women. And also anybody else that wants to read it, because they're not just for women. And that's it. Empathy, emotional intelligence, like, that's attractive to a lot of women. So these men saying that there's a male loneliness epidemic but just refuse to even listen or try and connect with or have some compassion for any women in their life, like, that's a bit of an issue. And also, like, if you want to be friends with other people as well, like, maybe figure out what they like and like offer to do that stuff with them. Be interested in them. Just be interested in them. It's not that hard. And the thing is about all this like alpha stuff, like, it's so pathetic. Like, I personally, I see that kind of stuff and I'm just like, the people that try the hardest to be the most alpha scary men just fail so fucking miserably. And it's funny, and honestly it's a turn off for a lot of women. The people that truly embody that often don't have to try. You can't replicate it. And honestly, the people that I've met that do have the most power in the room sometimes are the people that have empathy and understand people and can communicate effectively, get emotions, and can read social cues. And fiction does teach you that too. He's totally right. So, I mean, I do love reading, so of course I would agree with that, but I think it's a great way to figure life out a little bit more, see life from lots of different perspectives. I think it's a great move. So yeah, go read some fiction. And if you want to get fit and train like you are a character in a fantasy book, then I have a program for that. Check the link in the description. Now, my health has been doing some crazy things over the last couple of years, and I didn't even really know. I had no idea what was going on, and it also kind of interlinks with my mental health and lots of other stuff. If you're interested in that, and it's literally like a deep dive into my whole health and life, but I also feel like it's going to be helpful for other people because they might recognize themselves in what I've been through and then be able to get the help that they need too. If you're interested in that, then watch this video next. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.